the country, collect the views, or in his capacity?
At least in his own constituency, they should have started there. Then the people behind him, the president, they should have gone out there. The president is quiet. He's not telling us what is the problem between him and the deputy. Only the deputy has spoken over the last many weeks. The president has not said anything. But he is the person behind it.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So today, let's come now to the schedule for today. What they have done is that they have set up public participation centers based on these 47 counties. So basically, in a given county, say Kiambu, which has over 1 million voters, people have to go to Kiambu Social Hall from this and the huge Kiambu county, as you know it, very big county, which is not practical. They will not be able to travel there. If they travel there from all directions, but they spend the whole day traveling. At what point do they give their views? What they ought to have done, at least, is to ensure that the public participation happens in each of the 290 constituencies of the National Assembly at the very minimum. We have the 12 special seats, the ones representing women, youth, and workers. They should also have a forum to engage the women, to engage the youth, to engage the people with disability, and the workers, and all those special interest groups represented by the 12 nominees in the National Assembly. There is the 47 women representatives representing where each county forms a single member constituency. Actually, I would say that these 47 that they have set up today should only be for the women, to cover the 47 women representatives, to deal with their own public participation. Then set up other centers in each of the constituencies. So already they have failed. The setup is just totally it's a scam. Go to Embu County, where they just sent out a public they sent out a notice last night saying that they have changed the venue from what it was IFAD Center to Talent Academy. So when you do that, you announce that online, how many people in Embu know that there's a change of venue? So it's a waste of time. Absolutely.
Well, let's hear now from Rachel as far as this public participation exercise is concerned. You know, one would argue that, well, even as the impeachment motion made its way to the National Assembly, it was first of all backed by 291 MPs. What's the definition of MPs? They are members of parliament, the representatives of the people. Can't it be done on behalf of the people? That's why we elect MPs.
Of course, we elected...
Because already it has surpassed the required threshold of 117.
Yeah, the 117. But if you look at Article 118 of the Constitution, it says that the Parliament shall facilitate public participation and involvement in legislative and other business of Parliament and its committee. So meaning any report that comes even for the committees where there is need to involve the public, in as much as we have elected representatives, then they need to go back. It's not like we also relinquished our powers as Kenyans when we elected them. The sovereign power still belongs to the people. So even in article, what I've just read, it mandates them actually to conduct public participation on certain issues, like this particular one of DP. One thing that I would like to say, there's a lot of things, gray areas in this whole exercise, if you ask me. First, the person purporting to be so concerned about the issues that are bedeviling the nation, especially he's accusing the DP of propagating ethnic tribalism, if I may say, that he's always talking about this is for my people, this is for my people. And we also remember that we also, in the same constitution, and Wakil is here, there's freedom of speech, right? So where does freedom of speech stops? And then we now pick up on insubordination, or this is gross misconduct in this manner, that because the DP spoke about this, this is now gross misconduct in his part. So I think one, we did not give them the powers that now you can do everything without us as the Wananchi, according to chapter 1 of the Constitution. So one, it's not like it is wrong for them to come back onto the people and ask them, what are your views on this particular area? But I want to reiterate on something, that even as they seek our views during this public participation exercise, one thing is that it is ill-intended, in that they don't really intend to reach as many people who would give them views as it should be required. I think even for public participation, there should be a threshold. How many people did you engage? What did these people talk about? In the aspect of good governance, that you want us to know, and transparency, that this is the principle that you have to be transparent, even in a manner in which you're conducting the public participation. If, for example, they shifted the venue, what then do you intend to achieve? Is it that you didn't want people to participate? Why didn't you then say, for Embu, for example, Embu, we are now moving you to do your public participation on a different date, now that we are changing the venue? And another thing is that the accessibility to some of these places that they've indicated as venues may be impossible. I mean, why then didn't they put them in each and every constituency, given that from the turn-up, which shocked the nation actually, that this time around all the MPs came in their numbers to support a bill, a motion, that actually is not even a priority to the nation. We have so many issues, or is it a diversionary tactic so that we forget about the Adani issue, we forget about SHA, we forget about these many other things that are happening, and then we now focus on the DP Gachagua. I think one that our representatives at the National Assembly are not doing us justice. They are appearing to be more self-centered in a manner in which they are conducting the businesses of Parliament, and we would want them to start thinking that it is not far long ago when they were being greeted, if I may say, walikuwa nasalimiwa tu, just juzi tu, and it's like they've quickly forgotten that, and forgetting that priority for our people is lowering the cost of living. Have we seen that happening? Can we access health? Can we access education? These are priority to us. Well, so I think in all fairness, this is an exercise which may appear to be in futility, devoid of the other processes of impeachment, but this particular exercise, everyone would blame them that, yes, you, like from Siaya, you say we are going to conduct the public participation in Siaya town. Someone from Liunda, near the lake, someone from Mageta, which is within, I mean, some of the islands within the lake, how are they going to access these places? Why then didn't they put them within the constituencies or within the wards? What was barring them from doing that?
Vivian, I covered the finance bill of 2023 and 2024, and in the 2024 one, I saw you present or participate during the public hearing at KICC, I believe. Then we saw what transpired. The views are not incorporated, and the finance bill 2024 sailed through. The president withdrew it later on. The same members of parliament, 291, approved this motion to get to the House. Do they really represent the people, or who are they representing? Because members of parliament literally represent us in the National Assembly.
They represent us in theory. They actually represent themselves and their own interests. They don't, if it was that they represent us, you would see exactly what everyone on this panel has already said. The public participation would be constituency based, and the members of parliament would actually be present at this fora, and this exercise would happen before a motion to impeach the DP would happen. I mean, ideally, that's what's supposed to be. That's what, you know, it's supposed to be like that. You do the public participation forum based on the public sentiment. You know, even as an MP, you can say, you know, my people who I represent, this is their sentiment. Not what we are seeing now of, you know, Nyeri Town MPs now coming and saying, to mend a ground, you know, the ground is saying something different. This should have happened before even people, you know, the MPs appended their signatures to either support or not support, you know, the impeachment motion against the DP. So, like we've seen many times before, not just with this regime, but even the previous one, public participation is like a PR exercise where you know they want the public to, of course, come and give their views, but whether your views will be upheld or not is a whole different thing. If you go by even the sentiments that the speaker gave right before the weekend, right before the vote was taken, it's very clear that certain people already in the government have a certain, you know, direction that they want this thing to take. So with or without, the question is, we should be asking ourselves, are they saying that if we had public participation and the public said, no, we want to retain the DP, that they would drop this whole thing? Of course not, because it is people's personal interests that are being furthered here. It is not about the people of Kenya, and that's why we are saying, I am saying, can we focus on the important things? Can we focus on reducing cost of living? Can we focus on handling taxation? Can we focus on education, agriculture, tourism, healthcare, and forget about this whole, Gachagua, the deputy president, has done, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. First of all, the same MPs moving this motion of impeachment, they're forgetting. I had this Kitui West, the move of the motion, quoting Kibwezi West MP who moved the motion, quoting serious Bible verses. Amesahau ile he without sin cast the first stone. If we looked at him critically as a member of parliament of Kibwezi West, is he saying we will not find anything, that would be worth recalling him from office? So, wajichunge sana, wajiangalie. The same people voting and saying we want to remove the DP, if you looked critically at their own affairs, their wealth, their everything, the way they conduct their affairs, they would be recalled from office without even, much ado. So I think this is just, let's forget the drama, let's forget the side shots, let's focus on what is meaningful for the Kenyan people and how do we move Kenya forward. Not drama only 2 years after an election. Seriously, the president, I'm very disappointed, by the way, because the president, when he came in, he was very clear and said, the tribulations he faced under President Uhuru, he would not subject his deputy, to the same kind of tribulations. Why is he silent at such a time as this? Unless the only reason he would be silent would be if he's the silent mover in this thing. He's the chess master. He's the one moving the pieces. And therefore, he cannot speak about it because, his proxies and his people are, doing the work for him. That's the disappointment. If the thing is not working, and, this is a deflection because Kenyans were very clear, Ruto must go. Ruto must go. That was the talk for more than 3 months. Well, in fact, so it's like now they're deflecting it from now it's not Ruto, now it's the DP who's responsible. No, you're all culpable. You're a twin ticket. If the DP is going, then let the president also go. Let's go for a fresh election. So the duo should go. Yes. But how? Until an impeachment motion is tabled. Well, I'm just saying the public sentiment was highly, highly, highly against the president. That has not changed. Now, we've talked about the issue of the public participation being in 47 counties. The Speaker of the National Assembly, that is Moses Wetangula, in fact, clarified on this particular matter. And this is actually just some, first of all, of the reactions from Kenyans as far as this matter is concerned. Let's listen in.
Kama Rigathi anaenda, waende pamoja. Tulipiga kura moja hivi, hatukupiga kura mbili. Na kama Rigathi anaenda, na waende wote. Kwa nini wanataka kumwacha kwa barabara? Akuja ground hapa. Wale ni MP 200 anataka kuwapea pesa wa impeach. Wajue ground hapa tuko na tujapotea. Wale walikuwa wako na tuko hapa na tubanduki. Kwamba katika ile mambo wanafanya, akumbuke yeye anataka kwenda miaka ingine 10. 2027 atatupata ground. Ile kura yetu tulimpigia kwa sababu ya Rigathi. Kama hata ichunga leo, hata 2027 asikuje kwa sababu hata ipata.
Tuko na ushugu mwingi sana na hii serikali yetu. Kwa nini wanauliza hii deputy president wetu kutoka Nyeri? Hawa mbunge tuliwachagua. Kazi yao ni mambo ya kuimplishi wale wengine. Sasa tunauliza, mtatufanyia kazi lini na mtatupeleka na mwelekeo gani? 2027 tuko ground na ni sisi tutakuwa huko, mtatukuta.
Wakili, those are just, of course, some of the Kenyans from Nyeri County. I'll be, of course, also bringing that from Nandi County. But Kenyans, of course, just what Vivian has said, that if you're to impeach the deputy, then also impeach the president.
Yes.
But that would only happen if a motion is brought to the House.
We'll come to that. Don't worry about the process. What we need to talk about is the optics. So let's look at the 10 years of...
Actually, Wakili, add there, in addition to the optics, add the public sentiment.
Exactly.
The public sentiment generally against the president, actually the leadership, the executive of Kenyan government is bad. They got a red card, actually. It's an indictment. So it's not enough to say, it's not enough to say that you want the deputy president to go. I mean, you may have grounds. You may have grounds for impeachment. But the thing is, if you're going by public sentiment, and the public gave you mandate to get into office.
So the duo should go.
Yes.
Wakili.
All right, so what I was saying is, when you look at the 10 years of William Ruto being deputy president, as he explained his wealth, because when you look at the impeachment motion, the main allegations are that the deputy president's wealth has increased dramatically.
5.2 billion, in fact.
Yes, that's one of the issues. Then they're saying that he conducted some rallies where he challenged some of the government policy, like the rally he had in the Wakulima market. They have also complained that he talked about shareholding in government. He talked about defending his community. Then the question is, let's go back to the president. With whom does the buck stop? He's the one appointing all these people in government. I have a list of 61 government agencies where only one community is being appointed, and the person appointing is the president. No one is talking about it. This one is just saying, I want to protect the interests of a certain area, which is totally okay. All these leaders are defending their communities.
So one is backing without biting, and the other one is
one is
biting
talk, the other one is
backing.
action.
Yes.
Then we look at when they were campaigning during the presidential elections, the president was pretending to speak Kikuyu everywhere when he was traveling around Mount Kenya. Mwadhani show and all those greeting the people in their local language. So what has changed now? If the deputy president speaks to his people in his language, doesn't the president speak in his language when he goes to his backyard? All the leaders talk about, even the Speaker of the National Assembly, who is actually an embarrassment if you ask me, because he's not impartial.
Yes.
Then let's go back again. The president, while he was deputy president, every day he was going around talking about against government policy. I know that as a matter of fact.
They were even nicknamed Tanga.
Exactly. I have been in meetings where he was seriously scheming against the president. Nobody has talked about that. If the deputy president disagreed with the president, that's okay. That's why we have freedom of speech, we have freedom of opinion, freedom of thought, freedom of association, because he can be able to have his own opinion.
So basically you're saying the 11 grounds are not sufficient.
So flimsy, they do not qualify. If you look at Article 150 of the Constitution, read with 145, which lays the basis for impeaching the president or the deputy president, it's a gross violation of the law, gross misconduct. If there's reason to believe that you've committed a crime under national or international law. So all these are the ideas, and most of the things they put in the motion, by the way, they picked them from just a few days ago, like when he had a rally in Wakulima market. What is wrong with him having a rally? That's actually engaging the people. That's public participation, if you ask me to ask them. They want to relocate the market. Are you happy with that? What should we do? Is it being done properly?
So they're saying that is, you know,
I will ask you
when they were on devolution.
Yeah,
he's saying that is literally sabotaging devolution.
It's not. Well, let's go back to 2007 when William Ruto was the Minister for Agriculture. When they were moving the people from Mau Forest, what was he doing? He was running all over, pretending to cry with his people. So why is it wrong for the deputy president to go and talk to the people in Wakulima market? It's perfectly okay.
So will that be a defense?
That's some of the issues we shall be raising.
Is it possible to defend someone who was, you know, the 11 grounds are there, but you use, you know, in reference to President Ruto while he served as the deputy? Can that really...
You have to, I mean, it's part of persuading. You are telling the people, if you're really complaining about this one who was just having a rally, how about this one? When the government was passing the BBI, which I was very much opposed to, by the way, at the time, the deputy president was among the people who were very strongly opposed to it. He not only opposed, but schemed against it. So why is it now that we want to complain about the deputy president? Just because he has disagreed with a few things, because the president doesn't find him to be a pushover. Because what are a deputy who is a yes boy or a yes girl? That's why we are being told of Kindiki and Waigoro. Have we spoken about her and the scandals that were there before she became governor? Have we talked about that? You know that. So I don't know. It's totally the hypocrisy. It's the hypocrisy behind it.
Well,
and before you move to the next issue, before you go to the next issue, on the members of parliament who you say, we've seen them, some of them who signed, and now they are saying, I have changed my mind.
In fact, I'll be coming to that shortly.
No
we'll just take a short commercial break. Keep the conversation going via social media platforms at K24 TV at Joel Chacha, even as we bring you a special focus of Gachagua impeachment motion public participation up to, of course, the entire day. Wall-to-wall coverage as far as this matter is concerned. We'll be right back with the conversation of the grounds to impeach Gachagua. Also, he has made at least 10 attempts to block his impeachment. All have failed so far. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.